Hi, welcome back. I'm Lloyd Gross with Genesee Community College, and we're continuing our series on bridging the gap to better learning. In this segment, we want to talk about your learning environment. Going back to our essential questions, we're talking about the kinds of factors that might have an impact on your learning. We're talking about connection and how your connection to the material matters. Because learning doesn't exist in a vacuum. Learning builds on their own experience. An environment and experience is providing an essential platform that you need to be able to learn new things. So at this stage, we're more or less all learners of some kind or other. So let's talk about the larger environment. Learning for us is much bigger than school. We might have jobs or family responsibilities. There will be cultural influences that will impact our learning cycle. And here's four key elements of connection here. Okay. First of all, does the class material seem to have long-term relevance to you? Is it important? Do you trust your instructor as a subject expert? Do you hold the proper foundation for being able to absorb new information? And are you experiencing a sense of progress in your learning? If you need to, take a moment and pause the video and answer those questions because it's important to establish a connection with what you're learning. If you don't establish that connection, learning becomes much more difficult. Now, this we're talking about environment, that expression at the top, B equals F of P and E. Behavior is a function of person plus environment. Your learning environment is much more than just the classroom. You'll have all kinds of experiences, patterns, family systems, all kinds of forces that are pushing and pulling on your learning environment, some positive and some negative. And it's important for you to establish what those things are so that you can overcome the negative and take advantage of the positive. So I'm going to have you do an exercise, and this is going to take quite a bit of your time, but that's a good thing. It's good learning. I'm going to have you draw your learning space. And I've given you a website, mindmaster.com, that will allow you to create a free mind map. If you've never seen a mind map before, well, you're looking at one. In the center is My Learning Environment. It's your center node. And then up over here, there's a little plus sign, which will allow you to add linked factors onto your learning environment. Factors being, for example, local environment, work pressures, kinship and family, household pressures, things that were going to impact your environment in both positive and negative ways. And now I'm going to go through a series of slides, and we're going to sort of enumerate what those different types of factors might be. And I'm going to go through them very quick because you can pause your video and really take the time to think about what these factors are and how they impact you positively and negatively. So personal factors, how long has it been since you've been outside of a classroom? How are your study skills? Do you know what your study skills are? Do you know what your drawbacks are? Because everybody has their learning hurdles, and knowing what they are can help you overcome them. How's your immediate household? How's your internet? Do you have family members with that might know something about the topic that you're learning about? That could be a very positive influence. You get your own personal tutor. Local factors, other kinships and friends, clubs, relatives who are not in your home, different places that you can go and you can kind of talk about your learning. And talking about your learning is one good way to build durable learning. How is your local environment? Is it physically safe? Do you have a local park that you can escape into or some other place that you can go to kind of take a break? How is your health insurance? All of these things can be positive and negative factors. Work and global factors. Does your work take a lot of your time? Are your responsibilities overwhelming to the point where you feel exhausted when you come home? And just the broader environment. You may not think that what's going on in the national economy is all that important at community college. But if you're worried about the economy and you're worried about your job and your company and other things going on, that can have an emotional toll that takes away from your brain's ability to absorb new information. So it's important to kind of map that out. And so I wanted you to take some time and really map out your learning space. Because our key takeaway here is that your larger environment can have positive and negative impacts on your learning, and it's important to know what those are.